know everyone is unhappy with the Tell Me Lies ending, but I actually think it was both brilliant and realistic. This show is called Tell Me Lies. It highlighted how every lie every one of them told created a more and more toxic relationship between all of them. I said very early in this season that this show was a perfect example of how you are the company you keep. This was depicted perfectly because in these final scenes, it highlighted how the abuse, the toxicity, and the lies continued because they all chose to stay in this friend group that is filled with secrets, lies, and betrayal. Discourse surrounding this entire season was everyone talking about how awful Lucy was and compared her with Steven, but she is arguably the one who suffered the most. She never outed Pippa, even when being expelled. Pippa never came clean. She never came forward to help her. Bree releasing that tape and then pretending to be her friend for 6 years, that's actually diabolical. Them judging her for sleeping with Evan when Pippa was cheating on Wrigley with Diana. Bree was cheating with Wrigley behind Pippa's back. Pot, meet, kettle. And that's the point. That's the entire point of the show. They are all shitty people who told lie after lie after lie, and their friendships all became abusive and toxic. The best ending is all of them being free from each other. It's fitting that it's the truth that actually set them all free in the end. As for Oliver and Chris, of course, we are all upset that they didn't get what they deserved in the end. This, again, is the harsh reality of what we often see happen in these situations in real life. With Oliver, he is a manipulator who is in a position of power, and he has a complacent, disgusting wife who is also in a position of power helping him. The scene with Bree and her mother was quite realistic to show both Bree and the other girl in the room what happens when you speak out. I'd argue that as women, every single one of us knows this reality or knows someone who has lived this reality. Showing this harshness, giving us this ending is supposed to make us mad. It's supposed to make us disgusted. And yeah, of course, I wanted to see Chris and Oliver both get what they deserved, but unfortunately, that's not always reality. We are meant to feel mad about this. As for Steven and Lucy, again, this ending felt very fitting for them. Relationships like this don't get clean endings. Lucy and Steven were never going to sit down and have some productive conversation or even get any kind of closure. Go so far to argue that this was purposefully left ambiguous with Lucy laughing because us as the viewer is meant to wonder, did she just let him think he got her back so he'd finally leave her alone? Did in that moment she finally get set free? Did she let him think he won? Or did he win? And then when he left her, she realized that in that moment, it was finally over and she was free. We are meant to feel that. We are meant to feel the frustration, the confusion. That's the entire point of the show, to pull us in and give us the same experience that the characters are having. The chaos at the wedding was the same. We were meant to feel that we were there. It was so fitting that Steven connected all the dots and blew everything up. If anything, it just showed and confirmed to us what we already knew. He truly needs to be the center of attention, always. It was done intentionally to highlight that as long as they stayed friends, as long as they all stayed in this cycle, nothing would ever change. It was the moment that all of them were set free and that we were set free as well. We as the viewer were shown most of them didn't grow, they didn't change. We were manipulated to have favorites or to argue who was worse than who. This showed us that they are all toxic and they had to be apart to finally be free of it. We as the viewer did the same thing as them, justified who was worse and who was better based on how we felt about the other person. Again, in my mind, this show is meant to mirror reality and to mirror our journey as a viewer. Their ending left us feeling the exact same way they all did. Frustrated, angry, and it provided realization that these relationships, these storylines, they're never quite finished and they never will be. There will be no closure. It became something they all had to step away from, even without that sense of closure, and we are doing the same. That accurately depicts real life because it refuses to provide some neat karma-filled conclusion. It reflects how manipulators often move on without any consequences, and the victims are left to deal with the trauma. That's the entire point of the show.